Okay, so we are now going to take a look at the startup sequence on the target electronics. So power on, we can see LED starting to flash here. On the target server we have the three LEDs here. The green one flashing here is basically symbolizing that the microcontroller is running. The right one is on all target electronics, including the target server. It's symbolizing communication locally between the targets, between the target electronics in that specific target line. So the target server has a standard procedure when starting up, is that it's asking for other targets in that target line. And in this case, we can now see that it's running a check. It's basically asking all target numbers from 1 and up to 100 plus, and asking if they are present in the target line. This can take some while because yeah, we have quite a lot of numbers we can run through. We can see other targets when this is going on is there is no activity on this LED. It's basically because these targets are now not active. They are not answered. They are not asked for anything, and they are not answering for anything in this process. On the left side of this trio of LEDs, we have another red LED. On the target server, this is mainly inactive as long as the target server is actually connected. Sorry, as long as the SDU is connected. On the other targets, we have a constant red light. This red light is on other targets than the target server. It's it doesn't have any function. It's just going to be light on all the time. On the target server, it is symbolizing communication to the firing line. So if we generate a shot, for instance, we can see a short flash there, which is data being sent to the firing line, to the SDU. So we can see the same here now. When I knock the sensor, we can see the same flashing going on the COM LED on the SDU3. Now we can see on the other targets that the red LED on the right side is actually lighting constantly. It is a little bit weaker than on the target server. It's because the target server has to be active on all requests. It's asking now target 1 if it has any shots, target 2 if it's any shots, target 3 if it's any shots, and then it starts over again on 1. So it is going to be more active than the other units. If you have a long target line, each target would be asked less frequently, and the light intensity would be less. You would actually see them starting to blink very, very rapidly on a very large system. If you have data sent from another target, which is not the target server, you can actually see a little bit of rhythm change in that right LED. And that's basically the target electronic here now saying that I have data and I want to send it. And this is going to be acknowledged by the target server, and a small break, and then the data is sent. You can see a small rhythm change there. A good target line, we can see the light on the target server is constant. It means that it is very few or none resending of data. The thing is that the target server is asking another target for data, and the target always has to reply. That's actually the light we can see there. If the target is not replying or something is happening with the data, the target server will wait for half a second and ask again. That can be seen as a very short dark period on that LED. So if you have a bad connection or so on, we will see that's going to happen on these LEDs. So just by observing the light on the target server, this one, you can see that we here now have a very good target line. There is very few or none requests of data from the other targets. some other LEDs very quickly. The green LED here symbolizing that the temperature sensor is up and running. It's receiving data from the temperature sensor. You have the same here on this one for those for the targets which has 2 temperature sensors. Next to all the terminals for sensors, you have a small red LED, and this is going to be lighting if it is no connection to the sensors. And also, lastly, on the far right corner you have the green LED flashing here, and that's flashing the version number of the processor running in the system. So the long flashes has the value 10. In this one it should be 5 long flashes, and the short flashes will have the value 1. So it will be 8 short flashes, showing that it's running version 58. Yep, that's it regarding the target electronics and the LED flashing.